Hi everybody, Moonstar Silversky here. This particular topic I have written in a blog post that is featured in Path US Pagan. Links are going to be in the description to definitely check out that blog post. I do blog on that site. The column is The Millennial Witch. So please check out my other works. I would love to hear any comments, inquiries, all that kind of good stuff. So this is going to be talking about something that's, it doesn't happen to everybody, but it did happen to me, and I felt really personal, and it's really something I really want to talk about. It's called Magickal Pitfalls. So when I say magical pitfalls, I'm talking about whenever depression, anxiety, anything like that, and you're a witch, pagan, Wicca, whatever, you end up falling in what I call a magical pitfall. There are days when you don't even feel like doing anything at all. Or there are days where you question, why am I even doing this? What am I even doing? Do I need to celebrate at midnight on a full moon on a Friday? What the hell even is an isbat? What is Beltane? I mean, I don't know. Do I even care? That kind of thing. I've had this happen to me a couple of times throughout my path. When I first started, it was in the late 90s, early 2000s, when the internet was all the rage, and, you know, things about witches and wizards going to school, a sassy little teenage witch, all that kind of good stuff was kind of, you know, prominent. So I was so caught up into the hype of it all that I ended up falling into the disenchantment period. In my blog post, I reference it as the honeymoon, like you fall out of the honeymoon period and you're into the real hard part of the marriage. It's kind of what, you know, it's kind of like that, what that is. It's, you know, I was questioning, why am I even doing this? Do I even need to be doing this? You know, that kind of thing. And it wasn't until I, of course, had a couple of signs, magical signs, whatever, had some powerful meditations, spiritual guides, spiritual readings, any of that good stuff, that I finally realized that yes, I'm on the right path, and yes, I need to keep going. But then a couple of years later, it happened again. And I feel like it happened again, one, because I do have anxiety and I do suffer from depression. So my mind and my body were not talking very well. And I ended up going back to the basics. I bought a beginner's book again. I probably have like 1,000 of them. Not really, but I have a lot of them. I ended up buying a beginner's book again, flipping through it, starting from square one. And it wasn't really me starting back from the beginning. It was more of like I had to dig up my roots, replant myself, and make sure that I understood exactly why I was doing this, what called to me to do this, all that kind of good stuff. It was hard, especially when there was a lot of people around me that were just like, oh, just call it spirituality. Yes. They didn't actually sound like that, but, you know, a lot of people were just hyping on that spirituality train, and I'm just like, it's a religion. I want to be religious. I am religious in the fact that I celebrate a god and a goddess. I celebrate the turning of the wheel. I celebrate things on the full moon, new moon, whenever I feel like it, that kind of thing. I find signs and answers in nature. I meditate. I feel moved religiously. I also feel particularly, if you call it spirituality, then you've already come out of your pit a little bit, because you've already seen that being spiritual and enlightened also means being religious. This is a kind of controversial topic, but that's my opinion. Just saying, you can disagree, that's perfectly fine. I really ended up finding that kind of personal touch and not making things as complicated as every little book was trying to make it out to be. So now I just do things as I see them. I write articles, I blog, I do all that kind of good stuff, and it feels good, and I feel like this is the direction that I'm supposed to be going. I haven't fallen in a magical pitfall in over 4 years, which is great. I fell into a little bit of one, but not like a big hole. It was like a little hump in the road. I really want you to know that if you're in a magical pitfall or in a big old pitfall, take a deep breath. And understand that it's going to be okay. Look up at the sky, start climbing back up, and you'll be stronger and you'll be taller than what you were when you fell. And I promise that bad things will not last forever. That questioning yourself and questioning your path will not last forever. And you will be able to successfully find what you were meant to be. Thank you so much for watching. Blessed be.